Welcome to the Coach's Corner. We are here at the Tivoli Tap House where you can find great food as well as great beer. I'm Tony Almanza, and alongside me is Connor Dockery. Connor, thanks so much for hosting last week.
Well, it was my pleasure. Had a lot of fun, but now I'm back to co-hosting alongside the one and the only Tony Almanza.
Well, thank you. Thank you, for not dethroning me, and giving me at least another week to host.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, so who do we have on the show today, Connor?
So first we're going to have men's basketball head coach Michael Bahl. He's going to be talking about the team's 3-game road trip. And we're going to have our 2018 volleyball wrap-up show today as head coach Jenny Glenn is going to join us, tell us about how the NCAA tournament went for the team, as well as junior, soon-to-be senior, Alyssa Kelling. She'll chat with us about how the NCAA tournament went for her and what is in store for her senior season.
Sounds like we have a great show for today, but before we bring on our first guest, we want to give you guys a recap of what happened this past weekend in Roadrunner sports. After a tough loss against Regis on Friday night, the men's team rebounded to take down Colorado Christian the following night. Drew Saw tied a school record with three-pointers made by knocking down 9 of them in the 77-71 win. The junior recorded a season-high 28 points to lead MSU Denver to their first conference win of the season. Garrett Carter also reached a season-high, scoring 18 points while also dishing out 7 assists.
The women's team took on their crosstown rival, Regis University, at the Regis Fieldhouse on Friday night. Jaden Galloway, starting in her second straight game, had the tough task to shut down Rangers guard Majesty Robinson, and she was able to hold the senior to just 15 points on 4 of 15 shooting. Jalen Smith carried the offense, scoring 19 points, including a couple of and-ones near the end of the game. The senior also grabbed 9 rebounds while handing out 5 assists in the 58-50 victory. But the Roadrunners couldn't make it a clean sweep on the weekend, falling to Colorado Christian in overtime the following night.
So let's head indoors for some track and field as they competed in the Colorado Mines Alumni Classic. The squad was led by sophomore Michaela Renfro, who earned her first place in the 200-meter dash, crossing the line in a time of 27.59 seconds. She also finished 4th in the 400-meter dash. Nick Polite had a great showing, finishing 2nd in the 200-meter dash while finishing 4th in the 60 meters. Brandon Baldner, who had never raced in the 800 meters before, would finish 4th, while Jesse Chapa took 3rd place in the 800. Not a bad performance for their first indoor meet of the new season. So now we welcome in men's basketball head coach Michael Bahl. Coach Bahl, thanks for coming back on the show.
No, thanks for having me, fellas.
Yeah. So, you got your 300th win against Colorado Christian Saturday night, combined as a player, as the assistant coach, as well as head coach. Tell us how much success that is, for you to, oh man, I can't even say this, to be a big part of the success here for the men's program. That's what I'm going to say.
I mean, I was just lucky enough to be a part of some really good teams, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a lot of really nice players, a lot of great coaches I played for. So I think it's just a byproduct of, having such a good, successful culture, which sort of creates winning. We never really talked about winning, to be honest with you. When I was a player, when I was a coach, we don't really talk about it. Success and winning is sort of the byproduct of hard work. When you have the right guys around you, and I was fortunate enough to play with some really good players. Then obviously when I was coaching here, I'm very fortunate enough to have really good players around us. And it's just really great to be a part of such a great culture and great organization. I'm just the luckiest man alive to be a part of something like this, and we just got to continue to put work in to see if we can't get some more wins.
Well, we'll see if that translates here at this upcoming weekend. But let's talk some weekend hoops first. Your squad continued their road trip this past weekend and took on first place Regis on Friday night. Perhaps 44 points in the paint by the Rangers may have played a factor in the outcome.
Yeah, I think we wanted to take away the three-point basket, and we did a really good job of that. But then we didn't take away the paint, which is sort of something we always want to try to take away. So we didn't necessarily do what we were supposed to do in terms of guarding the basketball. We let them have too many easy baskets towards the rim. But give Regis credit. I mean, they're a really good team. They know who they are. They're a very experienced team with a lot of juniors and seniors, and they showed us why they're one of the top teams in our conference.
So everyone that you put in the game scored, but no one scored in double digits. Give us your thoughts of how the offense went for you that night.
Not very good, and I think honestly, I think it's more about coaching, to be honest with you. Me and Coach Johnson are still trying to figure out what we have and trying to make sure the pieces sort of work together. You know, who plays well together, how can we get certain guys in certain spots. So it's sort of a feel-out process for us, and the thing that's not very good about it is we have to do it during season. You know, we're sort of trying to feel out, you know, who plays well together, what sort of combinations play well together. And so it's a feel-out process for us, but the one thing I will say is we have really good players, we have great guys, and they're willing to go through this process with us. And I think once we figure some things out, we'll be better for it.
So the following night, you took on Colorado Christian in Lakewood. Following that Regis game, what were some of the points of emphasis heading into another tough road matchup? You know,
we had a meeting with the guys in the morning, and it was just basically be who you are. You know, be the players that you're supposed to be. Don't try to do too much. So if you're a shooter, shoot. If you're a driver, drive. If you're a playmaker, make a play. If you're a rebounder, rebounder. So we tried to just simplify. I think we were trying to have too many guys were trying to do too many things, you know, and the intentions were really good. You know, so I think we just took some pressure off them and say, listen, we recruited you for a reason. Do your job to the best of your ability. I think we're going to be okay.
So the big storyline in your win over the Cougars was Drews, who was incredible from long range. The junior tied an MSU mark with 9 3-pointers. Can you tell us how well he played, you know, why that was?
You know, I think he was one of the guys I had a conversation with in the morning and basically just told him, listen, we recruited you to shoot, and you need to continue to shoot. You're worried about too many other things. Yes, you're a good basketball player. Yes, you can put the ball on the deck and get to the rim, but you need to be thinking shot first, you know. And I think you got to give credit to his teammates. Garrett Carter had 7 assists, and he was finding him on the floor. And, you know, Drews is one of our hardest workers, both on and off the floor, and he's constantly working on his game. And, you know, when he makes 9 threes, you know, I'm not surprised. Now, can he do it every game? No. But, I mean, when you get the looks that he got, I mean, that's the type of shooter that we feel he is, and that's the type of shooter that he is.
So for someone that was a 3-point shooter in his playing days, did you ever have 15 points? Did you ever have hit 15 shots in a game? Like
no, my best ever was my senior year. We were here against, I think, St. Leo. It's pretty sad that I actually know this. I was 8 for 10 from the 3. So that was my best game ever. So I was actually 8 for 8 going into halftime, and I missed 2 in the second half. They were probably my easier ones. So that was the best I've ever done. But, I mean, I think we're a good shooting team, to be honest with you, and I think if we continue to progress and feel comfortable with each other, I think we're going to have more games like that where we shoot the ball pretty well.
Well, Steph Curry, look out. Michael Bahl's coming for you.
I wish.
Well, so speaking of shooting, you said the Regis game, you guys struggled on offense, but you guys bounced back against Colorado Christian. You hit 15 threes as a team. Were the Cougars giving you some space behind the three-point line, or was that like a focal point going into the game that, hey, we're going to shoot a lot of threes?
You know, I think CCU looked at our stats, and, you know, we typically don't shoot the 3 very well according to our stats. You know, if you watch our past 3 games, I believe we're shooting under 20% from the 3, which I think we're a pretty good shooting team, but the numbers don't lie sometimes. You know, so their coaching staff looked at it and they saw us play, and we weren't shooting the 3 very well. So they actually came out in man, and then we had a couple early baskets, and they switched to a zone. And in that zone, I mean, we had some really nice looks. They sort of, I'm not saying dared us to shoot, but they definitely left us open a couple times, and I felt our guys did a really nice job of making them pay, and that was sort of the difference in the game.
So the Cougars made a late run at your team, making it a single possession late in the game, but your squad made free throws and finished the game with the win. Perhaps maybe it's the experience of playing close games this season that you guys got that win in Lakewood?
Yeah, I think so. I think definitely our first couple games definitely paid off, but I also think it's a lot harder to win than people think. You know, yes. There's a lot of things that come into it. And us playing in so many close games this year, I think is paying off. And you sort of see it where we're a little bit more comfortable down the stretch. And we're not quite where we need to be, where we have a double-digit lead, and we're not quite able to extend it like we should. You know, we're allowing teams to sort of hang in there, and you're giving teams confidence, and that's sort of where we're putting ourselves in trouble. So we have to do a better job of learning to play with a lead. You know, learning to handle success when it comes to us. And it just sort of comes with the territory, and I'm glad we overcame it this weekend and get a good big road win against Colorado Christian, and hopefully it propels us into this coming weekend.
Well, although you guys are back home, you guys have a tough schedule coming up with 3 games in 5 days. Is there any way that you can prepare for something like that? What was the process in adding a Wednesday game interconference matchup on a Wednesday afternoon like that?
You know, we didn't want, there's a mandatory NCAA break starting on December 20th. and we didn't want to have our guys go home for an extended period of time, especially with the new team that we have. We felt we needed more days to practice, so we decided to put a game on Wednesday right before we left. So that was sort of the methodology behind it, and they actually ended up moving these games to Saturday, Sunday. They were supposed to be Friday, Saturday, but with finals going on and some of the schools having finals, they pushed it back to Saturday, Sunday. But I think it's a good opportunity for us to get some game reps in there, and this is where, you know, our conditioning and our preseason, all that stuff comes in. I mean, these kids are young kids and they can run, and you know, I think from a fitness standpoint, we're going to be okay.
Well, Coach, always a pleasure to have you on the show, and best of luck to you this weekend.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
We'll be taking our first break, but don't go anywhere. Before we do that, we want to give you the tweet of the week. It comes from our women's basketball Twitter account. Senior guard Emily Hardigan reached the 1,000-point plateau in her collegiate playing career. That makes it 2 women's basketball players hitting that mark this year, as senior guard Jalen Smith also reached 1,000 points scored a few weeks earlier. Who will finish with more career points by the end of the season? You're just going to have to tune in and find out, as these two will be going back and forth all season long. Time for that break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be talking volleyball up next on the Coach's Corner.
In the heart of the city, Metropolitan State University of Denver is holding the line on the American dream. Our students come from every background and experience. They are tenacious, purposeful, entrepreneurial. They choose the highest quality and best value in Colorado higher education, and they choose their own roads for more than 70 undergrad and graduate degrees. Relevant, hands-on, and affordable education. Discover your road to success at msudenver.edu.
Freezing rain, snow, ice. When winter storms strike, we release the beast. Colorado's biggest, baddest, severe weather tracker takes you to the center of the storm. The Pinpoint Weather Beast on Fox 31.
I'm Kane van Heiningen, junior forward for the men's basketball team.
Has to get that up to the rim, and a swat there by Kane van Heiningen.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Before we talk with Coach Glenn, we want to remind you about a new location where you can enjoy delicious Tivoli Tap House beer. The next time you are at the airport, you can now visit the Tiv to enjoy all the delicious brews that you drink at the Tap House in downtown Denver. The Tiv is located on the ground floor of the Westin Hotel at DIA, and so wherever you are coming from or going from Colorado, you can enjoy all the great Tivoli beers. So take flight at the Tiv. So now we say hello to volleyball head coach Jenny Glenn. Coach Glenn, thanks so much for coming back on the show.
One more time, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So is there anything that Coach Glenn wants under her Christmas tree?
Oh my goodness. I haven't even thought of that. I'm still thinking about volleyball and what we need to do. What do I want under my Christmas tree? Oh, last year I said rest. I think I could go back there again. Can you bottle that up and just lots of sleep? That's what I want.
Nice.
More than anything.
Okay.
Well, rest, I'm sure everybody, especially college, rest is essential,
yes.
Especially key. But last time we had you on the show, it was just before that NCAA tournament game. So just give us some quick thoughts on that match, or perhaps rematch against Mines.
Yeah, we turned around, and what was it, like 4 days later or something, played the same team, that we matched up with to get to the championship in the RMAC tournament. So a little disappointed in the sense we always want to play somebody different. It's not really fun to go all the way to Texas to play a team that's 15 minutes down the road. I thought that was a missed opportunity for us. I don't really know how else to say it. I think we had a good advantage early in the match. I thought we were playing really well, and then things just kind of unraveled for us. And it wasn't a great match to finish our season, but it doesn't take away from the things that the seniors contributed and the accomplishments we did make. We had to make a big push and get real tough in that week of RMAC play in the tournament to even get to where we were. So proud of the group for that push and the things that we accomplished in that week.
So let's talk about the Team 50 a bit. And as you look back at the season, you finished 21-10 overall, 15-3 in the RMAC. Do you feel like you had a successful 2018 season?
Yeah, this year we talked about it a lot, even at these conversations, of how tough our schedule was. We opened the season by an exhibition against CSU. We scrimmaged Nebraska Kearney. We went out our first weekend, and our first match was against Cal State Bernardino. Those two D2 teams were at some point first in the country. So we challenged ourselves early. We ran into some injuries and some pretty key positions for us from time to time that set us back and caused us to have to kind of get back on track. But, you know, I thought the RMAC was really good. The top 5 teams were battling it out, and on any given night, anyone could beat anyone. And, you know, we had to battle through some of that this year. So, you know, anytime you have a 20-win season, that's a great thing. We only had 3 conference losses. You know, I think, you know, our team would say, I think we could have done better. But when you look back and that's our record, I think we can't be too upset about that.
So just tell us a little bit about your All-American performers in Taylor Duryea and Santasia Sturgis. Both had stellar seasons from that outside hitter spot. Looking back, what can you say about what they did for the team this season?
They did a lot for us. You know, both played in a 6-rotation role, which means they're playing front row and back row and serving, and both are very high in aces. You know, to both be all-region, that's not an easy place to be, and then get honorable mention All-American honors is just tremendous. Terrific and tremendous together, yeah. But, you know, we're going to miss them greatly. That left side position is a very critical position in the sport, and they nailed it down for us this year. They grew a lot, both of them in their time here. Taylor's was shorter than Santasia's, but her growth was just as big. So we're really going to miss them in a lot of ways.
So do you have any favorite moments from the 2018 season?
Oh man, you know, as a team, after our season was over, we talked about that after we lost, and just to bring some good to a tough situation. But I think still one of the, gosh, I loved our Dixie win at Dixie. I thought we played great. I thought we played unified and as a team, and it was a breakthrough moment for us. And of course, I can't say the Regis and the Colorado Mines match in that week of RMAC play. Those were incredible moments too. So to be able to do that in front of our home floor, and even all the fans that came over to Mines, was awesome.
So, you know, speaking more contributions on the team, we'll have Alyssa Kelling on the show a little bit later. She earned 2nd team All-RMAC after leading your team in blocks. Talk about Alyssa a little bit for us and what you saw from her in her junior season.
Alyssa is just a rock for us. You know, I think she's one of our more consistent players, that she's coming on the court, getting the job done in her 3 rotations. She's really growing in her leadership. You know, she will be our lone senior next year, so, and I think she'll carry that job well. She's really consistent, a joy to have on a team, very mature and just understands the game and is a thinker of the game and is always asking questions and finding ways to get better, and just her drive and competitiveness are going to be critical for us next year.
So the 2019 Division II Volleyball National Championship will be played here at the Auraria Event Center. Tell us why that game will be and what fans should expect once they get closer to that weekend.
I don't know how it came to be. So I got here and they told us, and we won the bid. So I wasn't a part of the process to get that bid. But what a great opportunity for us as an institution, as a volleyball program, as a city to showcase what we have here. You know, our location and just the volleyball culture that is in Denver and Colorado. Hopefully we can get a lot of people excited about Division II volleyball. You know, it's great. We have the premier every year. We have a lot of those teams here. So just as far as a showcase for the Division II volleyball, I think it's a great opportunity for us. And we're really looking forward to it. Hopefully we're playing in it, and we have a little motivation to get to our home floor.
Well, Coach, are you ready to earn some points in the Roadrunners trivia?
I didn't even study. I forgot that I might be doing this. Okay.
Okay, so as of right now, you are currently in 4th place.
4th?
4th place, yes.
Do I have as many opportunities as everybody else? Okay, I can handle it.
Okay. Well, Coach Chow doesn't want you to, you know, to win. You know, she doesn't want you to take the lead. So.
Coach who?
Coach Chow.
Oh, she wouldn't want me to win.
No, yeah. Well, you have a chance, you know. So.
Okay.
All right. So it's a multiple choice.
Now I'm really nervous.
All right. So are you ready?
Yes,
all right.
I'm ready.
In the 48 years of Roadrunners volleyball, how many head coaches has the program had? Is it A, 6? Is it B, 8? Or is it C, 15?
1, 2, 3, 4.
She's adding them up.
Wait, how many? What were the options?
6, 9, or 15.
6.
That's correct, yes.
I didn't even have to add. I should have just known by those numbers.
Wow.
That's correct.
You got it correct.
You threw me off with 48 years because it's 50.
Oh, is it?
50 years, yeah. That's what threw me off.
Well, you did score,
okay,
but you will have bonus opportunity, and you'll have more than just one this time.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, let's go.
You get an extra point for every coach that you can name.
Okay. I'll start with myself. Jenny Glenn.
1.
Debbie Hendricks. Joan McDermott. I'm like, I know, it's coming. Sorry, I'm just the bright lights.
it is blinding. It's like
Pat Johnson.
Pat Johnson.
Janelle Duvall and Rhonda McMullis. McMullen.
Yes. Got it. All 6.
Yes.
Nice.
She got all 6.
That's what, 7 points, right?
7
points?
I think so.
Does that put me in the lead?
I'm sure it does. Yes, it does.
And the competition's done today, so I win, right?
Oh, we still got some time, right? Maybe
still got
with
the
the basketball coaches, right?
And like softball and baseball coach. So.
Oh, yeah. So you have 9 points.
9 points.
Yes.
All right. Who's in second? How many?
Oh, so I think it's Trent Macton and Tracy Chowden, correct?
Yeah, they're tied for first.
Yeah, tied for
before
second,
this.
Okay.
So
with 5 points.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have a
4-point lead.
Yeah.
Good cushion. All right.
Coach's rest of the year. You got some. 9 points is the number to beat.
Well, Coach Glenn, good job with the Team 50 this season, and thanks so much for coming on the show all season long.
Thank you very much. Thanks for covering it.
Yeah. So we'll be taking one last break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to talk with junior mid blocker Alyssa Kelling up next on the Coach's Corner.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
We are student athletes from the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
Let's get real about mental health.
1 in 4 of us are currently living with a mental illness.
Let's have an honest conversation about mental health.
1 in 2 of us
will have a mental health issue during our lifetime.
Most of those who can get help improve their quality of life.
You can help stamp out the stigma
associated with seeking help.
Take the pledge at Stamp Out Stigma.
I'm Stephanie Laraway, senior middle blocker.
And the block, Stephanie Laraway, the leader on this team in blocks, coming up big.
You're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. So now we say hello to junior middle blocker Alyssa Kelling. Alyssa, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah, so this is your second time coming on the Coach's Corner. The first time was your freshman year when you redshirted, correct? So now as you finish your junior year, how much have you grown from on the court?
I have grown, I feel like, a ton, because coming in as a freshman, there's just so many different aspects of the game that you've played for so long, but you haven't fully understood, and the game's just a lot faster at the college level, so getting a few years under my belt, I've definitely grown that way.
Nice.
So you had a great 2018 season, earning all RMAC second team. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And how did your 2018 season go for you individually? Do you feel your hard work is starting to pay off? You did lead the team in blocks this season.
Yeah, I do. I think our coaching staff has done a great job of kind of leading me into that, and they put in a ton of work and individual time. If I have any questions, they're always willing to explain. So, yeah, I definitely feel like I've kind of come into my role on the team, and I'm feeling a lot more comfortable and confident on the court.
So you and Stephanie Laraway were really close in the blocks category, but you ended up pulling away at the end of the season, finishing with more blocks. She kind of played it down a little bit. She didn't really see it as a competition, but how much pride do you take in knocking out blocking, if you wish, Stephanie Laraway?
I think Steph is such a great blocker that even in practices, I always tell her, I'm like, Steph, watch out, like I'm coming after you. So I think there's always this competition between the two of us, but it's like a friendly competition. So we'll always support one another, but she always challenges me.
So speaking of Steph, she was a senior this year along with Santasia Sturgis and Taylor Duryea. How much have those girls meant to you in your time here at MSU Denver?
So much. I came in, so I redshirted my freshman year, and I came in with Steph and Santasia. And just being with them these past 4 years, we've obviously become super close. And Taylor coming in last year, I honestly don't even remember a time without her. Like, she jumped on to the team and was one of us from the beginning.
So with both of them leaving now, you'll be the lone senior on the team this upcoming season, as Coach just mentioned. Are there any nerves in taking those reins and helping the team number 51 to another great season?
I think there are a little bit, just because I want to make sure that this program continues to be super successful, and just what our culture is, I want to make sure that that carries over. And all of the newbies and our current players that are still younger know what it means to be a Roadrunner.
So we asked Steph this earlier this year, but what do you get more excited about? Is it making a killer block, or is it throwing down a powerful kill on the opponent?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would probably say a good block. I love scoring and attacking from the middle, but there's not really anything quite like a good block, especially knowing that the person along the other side of the net is a good hitter, and you just help your team and shut them down.
Well, I love defense in sports, so I approve of that answer. You answered correctly in my book. I love defense. And we asked assistant coach Matt Deming to tell us a little bit about you before the show, and he said you always have a smile on your face in the games, and you're just a pleasure to be around. So what is that smile about? Is it love for playing volleyball? Is it your teammates, or is it a ploy to trick those opponents on the court?
I think it's all of the above. No, I love the sport of volleyball, obviously. I'm playing it in college. And our coaching staff just makes it so fun. Matt always jokes with me on practices and game days. So yeah, I don't understand why you wouldn't have a smile on your face playing this game.
So we asked you this question when you first came on the show 2 years ago, and you really didn't give us, you didn't really know how to answer it. So we'll ask you it again. So Jenny Glenn has done an amazing job to bring success to this program. What is it about her coaching style that has helped the program out?
I think as a coach, she's very direct. So if you have any questions about the game or about how you should be playing, she has an answer for you right away, and it's very clear and concise. You know what you can fix, you know what you can work on. And she just has a love and passion for the game and for our team. She always tells us that we're like her children, and she loves us. So that's always nice to hear a coach care about you that much, and she's always looking out for the best for us. So I think us as a team, we want to make her proud and play the way that she's coached us to play.
Well, Alyssa, thanks so much for coming on the show, and good job in the 2018 season.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So before we call it a show, we want to tell you what's coming up in Roadrunner sports this weekend. We're glad to say that our basketball teams will be back home this weekend at the Aurora Event Center, but notice the days the games will not be Friday and Saturday. They will be on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, the basketball teams will welcome in Colorado Mesa. The women will tip off at 4 p.m. while the men will go at 7 p.m. Then the following night, the Mountaineers from Western State, Colorado will come down to downtown Denver and play at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. once again.
If you can't make it to the event center this weekend, you can find the video links for all 4 games at roadrunnersathletics.com. And follow us on Twitter for all the highlights and interviews from all the basketball action.
So we want to thank Coach Bahl, Coach Glenn, and Alyssa for coming on the show. For Connor Dockery, I'm Tony Almanza. We'll see you next time on The Coach's Corner.